I know you've heard the term read between the lines. Well, today we are looking at how to read between the lines. Read between the lies. And this is in relation to relationships, or let's just say the start of a relationship, when you're just getting to know the person and everything is rosy, everything is wonderful, and you're excited, the person seems to be excited, the person seems to have a lot going for themselves, and you're just enamored with the person. But I would caution you that in your desire and all of your passion to want to further the relationship, that one important thing that we must learn to do is to learn to read between the lines. And it's really sad to say, but it is true, that there is a lot of people that just are liars. And you don't want to seem negative, and I'm not trying to seem down on people, but I'm sure many of you can attest to people that you have come in contact with that just were not truthful people. What they said and what actually was not the truth. And sometimes it took a while before you came to that realization. And sometimes it's years down the road that you look back and you say, everything has been a lie. So moving forward, when we know better, we can do better. And when we know better, we can learn and recognize and be able to discern how to read between the lines. So we can't just go through life and just be gullible and fall for everything that someone is saying. I really believe that, you need to check some things out. Don't believe everything at face value. Don't believe everything that someone said. I'm not saying you should be paranoid about everything that someone says, but if it just doesn't seem right, when it says you have that gut feeling, more than likely that gut feeling is the right feeling. It's giving you an indication of something. And so that something needs to be checked out before you go any further, so that you can discern between the lies, what is true and what is a lie. And so we just can't go through life assuming that everybody has good character. You might be a good person, but not everyone in the world is a good person. You may be a person of good character, but not everyone has a good character. So we must be able to discern between what's true and what's not. What is the person telling you up front? Does it even make sense? Sometimes we're just so, and I don't want to use the word desperate, but sometimes people are so desperate to be in a relationship that they just avoid all the signs, all of the checks in your spirit, all the checks in your gut, that this just isn't true. And so what happens is when we overlook and overlook and overlook, it just gets worse and worse and worse, because really people that are predators, people that are habitual liars, people that are looking for people to use or manipulate for whatever reason. Sometimes it's for monetary reasons. Sometimes it's for a power trip. Some people can send you on a power trip, and you'll be on that trip for a long time if you don't watch yourself, and if you don't know how to get off of that cycle. So learning to read between the lines will become very crucial to any person that's desiring a relationship that they hope to one day turn into a marriage. And I know the argument that people say for the women, wait wait for God to send you someone. And I will say also that in that waiting time, we should work on ourselves because we need to be healthy. The person that you meet should be healthy, mentally, spiritually, physically, psychologically, emotionally, and financially. And you should be in the same place. So yeah, we got a lot of work to do on our individual selves. You know, especially if you come out of a relationship that wasn't the best. And so you don't want to bring that same baggage and all of your problems and shortcomings and different things you got going on. You want all of that to be gone. You want to be healed. You want to be whole so that you can give that new person all of you, the best of you. So that's what we should be working on. But when someone you meet are, talking to you, you're just conversating. And something they say, you get a gut feeling about what they said, or maybe they said it the way they did, or maybe they acted a certain way towards you. And then all of a sudden they switched up, but you saw it. And it's these little red flags, it's these little things that we see, and if you ignore it, it's going to get worse. And many have found themselves in an abusive relationship, whether it's verbal abuse, mental, psychological, and even physical abuse, because they saw it and they understood it to be that, but they dismissed it and said, not every person is perfect. And so what you allow, it's going to continue. And in fact, not only is it going to continue, it's going to get worse. I was looking yesterday and I was reading an article, and it had to do with a doctor. This guy had 3 wives. He married his first wife years ago. And some years later, I guess he decided that he wanted to take up a relationship with another lady, and he did not divorce the first wife. I guess the first wife, according to the article, was in agreement that he could go on and do whatever he was doing as long as he did not divorce her. So the guy never divorced his first wife. So he went ahead and this doctor married a second wife. And so although the second wife should have, you would think, been enough since he already has a wife, now he's taking on a second wife, he goes and he marries a third wife. Now the second and third wife knows nothing about each other, and both think that he's divorced from the first wife. So the guy has a heart attack, and you could just imagine the mess that they had to try to figure out what's what and who's what. But they said that this guy was a good guy. He just had a problem saying no. Well, the people from the outside looking in says that this guy is a liar, a manipulator. The second and third wife were devastated to understand and know that everything that they have been living has been a lie. So yeah, you got to check people out. And there was a lot more that had to do with this guy, because he didn't even have the credentials that he said he had to even be in the hospital practicing as a doctor. But for 30, 40 some odd years, he worked, 30 years or so, I believe he worked as a doctor. But none of his credentials were valid. So yes, people lie. And you have to learn how to discern between the lies. Read between the lies. Because whatever you allow, like this first wife, whatever you allow will continue. And whatever continues will get worse. And it'll get so worse that oftentimes people come away in financial ruin, emotional ruin, turmoil, brokenhearted, in despair, can't make it. But we have to get ourselves to a place where we are working on ourselves. So there's some self-building that we have to do. We have to work on us so that we're healthy. We're in a healthy space. We're in a healthy place. Mentally, emotionally, psychologically. So we're strong enough, spiritually, to discern and say, no, this is not for me. I'm not going to deal with this. If I open the door for this, it's going to lead to something that I'm not willing to deal with this in my life. And it's okay. Sometimes you got to cut your loss and just walk away. Sometimes it's better. Hey, you lost some money. Hey, cut it. Leave it. Walk away. You lost this. You can make some more money. You can buy another house. You can leave it. Walk away. But let it be a lesson learned. Moving forward. Whatever the lie is, whatever I get, whatever that check in my spirit, that check in my gut, whatever makes me uncomfortable, whatever I'm not happy with, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live with this type of back and forth. Whatever it is, you will have enough information to make an intelligent decision. Now, whatever we allow, that's what we get. Because when you know better, you can do better. Now, if you didn't know any better, you can say, moving forward, I'm going to learn to read between the lies. And if this person makes me feel horrible when I'm with them, and everything is a drain, I just feel like I've been through a boxing match because of all the lies and the put down or whatever is going on. Cut your loss. Walk away. Then you can rebuild your strength, your dignity, and your self-worth.